Whoa,
Recording.
welcome to my podcast with my friend Marty. Today, at least. Hi, folks. You're in the Rad Dad 2023 bedroom. You can see the Total Recall poster on the back if you're watching
Oh,
this
this
on
is
video.
this is where all the magic happens. The Rad Dad bedroom.
That's right. Or maybe not. Who knows?
Which is what it sounds like when you ejaculate. Every time.
No, when I ejaculate at 40 with no. All right. Well, anyway, Marty's joining me. Today we're going to talk about stupid, dumb laws.
Stupid, dumb, all of them. I'm an anarchist.
I know you are.
Get
I
them
see
all the
you out
fuck out of
there
here.
drawing all your weird A's and
Mhm.
burning all your effigies.
Yeah.
But yes, we're talking about laws, so I got some music for it.
I can't hear it.
Oh, damn it. You'll have to. Anyway, it's all
It's
right.
okay. It's okay.
It's for the podcast, I guess.
I'm sure
Anyway.
it's great.
It's the Law and Order theme song.
Oh, I was hoping it was Bad Boys, Bad Boys. What you gonna do? That's what played in my head when there was that like silence of the music that I couldn't hear. I was
Yeah.
in my head, my inner stereo was playing do 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 do. I could hear that bass line. It's like Bad Boys, Bad Boys. What you gonna do?
Legal history, the history of law. You know when legal laws happened? Started?
I don't know. Like the first time somebody rubbed his boner on another guy, and they were like, "You shouldn't be able to do that, man. We should have fucking rules against that shit." Because that probably happened before like killing and all of that. Like it was probably just one guy who was like, "I'm gonna rub my boner on this other guy," and the other guy was like, "Stop that."
Well, according to, if you think about it, the only way they would have known in the Bible about homosexuality would have meant that somebody back then had to have had a boner
Right.
they were rubbing against some guy.
Yeah.
So as far back as there's been homosexuality in Bibles, I'm assuming there's been laws, because according to Wiki, in the ancient world, ancient Egyptian laws date back to as far as 3000 BC.
Whoa.
Before Chick-fil-A is what I think it means. But
is that why they're not
open
on Sunday? Is that like an Egyptian law?
That could be partially. I don't know.
Cool.
Have you ever been, or I know you travel a lot. Is that on the docket to go out that way?
Yeah, I've been to Chick-fil-A before.
Okay. But no, have you and the wife talked about going to basically Egypt? I don't know.
Ancient Egypt.
Ancient Egypt.
Yeah, dude. Remember last winter we were supposed to go with our friends, and one of our friends tested positive for COVID, and you had to pass a test before you come in the country. So we ended up not being able to go because one of our friends that we went with had COVID. So we had insurance and stuff, so it wasn't like a huge deal. We got the trip, we got it refunded minus what the insurance cost. We don't normally get insurance, but there were just so many fucking rules around that time. It's like, if you sneeze in customs, we won't let you in, and blah, blah, blah. It seemed like there were so many hurdles to jump through. So yeah, we had the trip planned, but we ended up not doing it. It sounds like Egypt is a pain in the ass to go to. If you don't know what you're doing, if you don't hire a tour guide, it's harassment city everywhere, which I'm kind of used to when I travel. But anyway, that has nothing to do with laws. I'm digressing big time.
No. We're relating to the fact that the oldest laws date back to 3000 BC in ancient Egypt. So, for a guy like me who loves to travel just as much as you do, I thought it would be interesting to ask. And, when I was in the service specifically, one of the scariest moments of being in the service is when you get your shots. And I got to assume you have to get your shots up to date when you're traveling somewhere like that. or basically anywhere outside of the U.S., Canada, North American region. Or you can just take some ibuprofen and call it a day. I don't know.
Well, they say if you've shopped at Walmart more than twice in the past 3 months, then you're inoculated from everything and you're fine. So as long as you have a signed statement, it's like, I've been in Walmart twice in the past 2 months. They're like, oh, fuck, if you didn't get sick then, you're good for anything. It's good.
So all you got to know is if your immunity is up to par to be able to lick the floor of a Walmart bathroom, you're all right.
You're not going to spread anything new in those countries.
So I've got a list of dumb laws. Do you know any crazy laws off the top of your head?
I remember, like, when I was a kid in elementary school, you remember, like, sometimes in the school library or whatever, there'd be these, like, dumb laws, a book by Dumb H. Lawson or whatever. Do you remember those though? Like, I remember they were always at the book fair. Like, you could buy the books. There's always like a little paperback, and it's like dumb laws, and you open it up, and it's like, did you know in Rhode Island it's legal to walk your alligator on a Saturday? And you're thinking, like, man, there must be so many fucking alligators in fucking Rhode Island or whatever.
But only if that alligator has the proper eyewear on.
Yeah,
something silly like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
familiar with the concept of these, like, weird laws. It's like a thing.
All right. Well, I'm going to shoot a few at you here. Now, according to a list I found, strange state laws, after doing a Google search earlier this week, in Alabama, Anniston, Alabama, you may not wear blue jeans down Noble Street.
Yeah, shit, like, of course.
In Alabama, in the same area, bear wrestling matches are prohibited.
That I can see, actually.
Yeah. I mean,
especially like Alabama's got to account for a lot of them, because it's just like, goddamn, Earl won't get his bear off my lawn. Like, you should think of all the dysfunctional shit. Like, well, I guess we better make a law against Earl not having his bear poop in Randy's front yard anymore.
I just finished the 6-part series on Vince McMahon on Behind the Bastards.
Oh no! And 6 parts? Wow, even for him, that's a lot, dude.
It took me a whole day, and as a mailman who ingests quite a bit of podcasts in a day,
yeah, for sure,
it was a saga. By the end, I felt like I could write a small novella on the guy. But, like,
man,
what's that?
Oh, I don't know if I want to know. Like, I have this weird respect for Vince McMahon. Like, I think he's kind of a funny character, so I don't know if I want to know all of his dirty, dark secrets. If I was to give a short version of it, I would say he's bad, but in the way that you go, yeah, I kind of assumed that. Sure. Like, he's a big, goofy, roided out, like, shithead. I don't expect him to be like a fuzzy teddy bear or anything, but it's just like, man, no. I have this image of him in my mind, and he's kind of more like silly than he is like bad for me, like evil. Right. So I kind of want to keep that. I want to maintain that silliness. It's for my own innocent sake.
I would say it's an overall look into the WWE, WWF.
Sure.
And that's what I appreciated, because
I bet you that's a fucking clusterfuck.
It is. Andre the Giant only becomes more lovable.
And
Rowdy Randy Savage is even cooler.
Rowdy Randy, yeah.
You can tell I retained some of it. Anyways, it is illegal for a driver in Alabama to be blindfolded while operating a vehicle.
Good. Another one that there was like one specific incident.
Senator, I propose that we put into law. We better make sure. So in Montgomery, Alabama, it is considered an offense to open an umbrella on a street for fear of it spooking horses.
Fucking liberals.
Good sir, you spooked my horse.
It wasn't me. It was A.
Oh my God. Uh-oh. Oh, did I lose you for a second? No, no, no. Oh, bring it up. So good. Get you back.
I play Diablo. Like this happens, it just
There you go. Okay, so
don't recover.
long-
But
understood. But that was that. Man, internet, please work.
I'm sorry.
No, you're okay. I wanted to say also you may not drive barefoot. So you not only can you not be blindfolded, but if you don't cover up them dirty toes,
Like that's a law here. It's against the law to drive barefoot.
I
Is it?
feel I know for businesses you can't go in barefoot
Right.
generally.
I'm gonna look it up a sec. I know I don't mean to be
no,
a
you're fine. You're fine. I'm gonna read another one.
Yeah,
from
go
Alabama
for it.
Before we.
Oh my God, it's the third thing that's up when I put. Is it against? The third thing that pops up. So my phone might be spying on me. It says, "Is it against the law to drive barefoot?" Like Google auto that. So in Michigan, apparently, despite what you have may heard, it is completely legal to drive barefoot in Michigan. Driving barefoot is legal throughout the United States. So now we have a source war.
Damn. Interesting.
Okay. Nope. Here's the loophole. No federal or state laws prohibit driving a car without shoes, but local jurisdictions can have a say in it. So we're all right.
I've always been curious about how state laws and federal laws interact, especially with things like marijuana, like being legal in a state, and then federally them being like, but we don't appreciate it. So it's like,
well, I'm not a lawyer, so obviously I know everything about law, and I write about it on the internet all the time. But no, I don't. I don't know. Like, I feel like state laws, like where it gets fuzzy is when state laws try to supersede federal laws. That's when like constitutional people are like, no, you can't do that. It's in the Constitution.
That's right.
Yeah.
And for some people that trumps everything. For me, I don't care as long as I'm a good person. Fuck you. If I want to take out an umbrella in Alabama, I will. And if it spooks your horse, what are you doing in Alabama with a horse anyways? You cannot chain your alligator to a fire hydrant in Alabama. I mean, that's interesting, isn't it? Why would you want to chain your alligator to a fire hydrant? Why would you need to walk around with an alligator on a leash to begin with? Or why would you also have an ice cream cone in your back pocket, which is also illegal in Alabama? I cannot believe these laws. Let's switch to Alaska. In Alaska,
you really hit the books on this. You're like, I did a Google search on laws, and we're going to do it in alphabetical order of state. That's how they presented to me. You put a bibliography up, man. I want to see your sources on this shit.
Hey, I'll do what I want, and they'll like it.
That's fair. Unless it's in there was a law in Denver that says Ryan can't do what he wants on Sunday nights when recording podcasts.
That's right. And here's the deal. If you do 2 episodes a week, you can have an easy episode once in a while. So in Alaska, even though it is legal to hunt a bear, it is illegal to wake a bear and take a picture of it.
Some asshole, and this was fucking before Instagram. bet you the fucking number of people trying to wake up bears to take pictures of them has only tripled since like fucking social media.
Yeah, you know, this is
Hi, my name's Jordan, and I'm an influencer that only takes pictures of recently woken up animals. Check me out at hashtag good morning.
I run an Instagram page called Nature's Beauty Rest, and I like to get pictures. Oh my god, I don't know, man.
Tune in next week where we put cucumbers on a donkey's eyes.
Okay, this next one's good.
Okay.
In Alaska, kangaroos are not allowed in barber shops at any time.
Oh my god.
You get your roo out of my establishment. Like, did some of these laws come about from a bunch of like Alaskans just sitting around getting really stoned and staring into their fireplace?
There's a bunch of like fucking overthinking lawmakers that were like the type of people who love to fucking sit around and just spin their heads about nothing. You know what I'm talking about. And they're sitting there like, we need to make a law for every situation. They're like, what if some fucking guy, what if I just want to take a kangaroo into a barbershop? Could I do that? And they're like, no, we're writing a law against it now.
Exactly. It was crunch time come Friday, and James didn't have his quota on laws in the Alaskan government. So, all right, we're going to jump to Indiana.
Oh, shit. This is going to be good.
In South Bend, it is illegal to make a monkey smoke a cigarette.
They're progressive there in South Bend, man.
Ook, ook. I'm on the patch now.
Yeah.
I can't go in local establishments.
That's why all the cigarette smoking monkeys are like right around the border of South Bend because they like to push right up.
Ook, it really sucks now that we can't smoke inside the city limits. No one may catch a fish with his bare hands.
I feel like shit. If you're able to do that, you should. I mean, it should be fair game.
I feel like you're a superhero if you can do that.
Yeah.
I know you catch. You used to love to fish. Do you still fish?
I try to.
I know you don't have your boat anymore. But
don't do it as much as I'd like, but.
Do you have any tips for guys that are like, I'd like to start fishing?
Yeah, just fucking go buy a super cheap pole from Meyer or whatever the hell's cheap, and if try it. Fucking take that thing to the local pond or lake and put a worm on the end of it and throw it in there. Like, there's all this shit that's like, so many people like to get into hobbies and get like the top end stuff. You don't fucking need that with fishing. You just need the basic. So if you want to try it, spend no more than $30, try it out. If you love it, then up it from there. If you don't, then you're only out that much. You could pass it to a little kid who can learn how to fish.
I know it's going to sound like I'm doing an ad, and that goes for the guys who've messaged me before who watch this and want to start a podcast. All you really need is a mic and a phone.
Right. I
have all this stuff here, but that's from like 10 years of doing this shit.
Tiptoe into that shit, man.
Yep. In Indiana, citizens are not allowed to attend a cinema or theater, nor ride in a public streetcar within at least 4 hours after eating garlic.
Oh my God. You know what's fucked up is that's probably like some weird, like obscure, random racist immigrant law too. It's like, get out of here, Polish garlic breath. Not on my train. Yeah. The Genovolskis will take our business elsewhere. Don't maybe mind our American kielbasa next time. These bratwurst hunks are below average. Okay. Citizens. Okay, I just did that about the garlic.
It is against the law to pass a horse on the street. Also, hotel sheets must be exactly 99 inches long and 81 inches wide.
That's
which to me
the
just
law.
yeah. I honestly I'm just as dumbfounded as you are, but interestingly enough, yeah, that if any person has a puppet show, wire dancing, or tumbling act in the state of Indiana and receives money for it, they will be fined $3 under the Act of Prevent Certain Immoral. Moral? I lost you
Sorry,
again there
bro.
for a minute.
I
sir.
lost you for a minute.
No, it's okay. As long as we can push through and make at least 30, 35 minutes, we're good. And we're already at 20. So
I'm glad that I get to come in for like the bargain bin of content.
well, I mean it's we're just trying to have some laughs, and we've
No,
laughed
it's
a few
great.
times.
This is great, man. I'm
All
having
right.
fun.
I love you, and you always help me when I ask you, so I appreciate it. But you also have a very funny take on things that I don't know. Sometimes I miss shit, and I appreciate when you come on. So, in Iowa, a man with a mustache may never kiss a woman in public.
That I appreciate that. I'm good with that. Just
I don't
men
like
with mustaches in general are fucking kind of gross.
My brother has one now.
I was thinking your brother when I said that, and I was like, ugh, controversial. He can pull it off because it's like semi-ironic though. Like he's not trying to look like Ned Flanders on purpose. He's just rocking the look, and that's kind of okay. I don't give my full like, but I accept that more than just like the fucking people with the Flanders mustache that are rocking it like unironically.
What do you think about that fashion style? Like, are we just all gonna be like are the Oscars gonna turn into a thing where all the best pictures are basically like The Room in like 10 years because everything's just ironic?
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, they're starting to nominate like Marvel movies for Best Picture, so anything's fucking possible. I bet you Adam Sandler will have a Best Picture nomination within the next 10 years, and I'll just be like, oh yeah, that's about right.
That checks out. Yeah, or like all of our favorite music is going to be modern country all of a sudden.
Ooh, who knows, man? The way social media just makes things an echo chamber, like everybody we follow and look up to will just start listening to country music, and then we'll be like, oh yeah, country music's kind of cool. It's just how it works now.
You know, there's a lot of elements of steel guitar that sounds very similar to shoegaze music. So
I'll take a banjo picking any day of the week.
I love it all. Horses are forbidden to eat fire hydrants in Marshalltown, Iowa.
God damn. Again, another one of those, like, what is the purpose of that? Like, what happened that made that law have to?
Sir, my Clydesdale swallowed a yellow hydrant on Friday, and he hasn't pooped since.
Wait, back up.
Long story.
It was Friday?
Mm-hmm.
You can't eat a fire hydrant on a Friday, sir.
Oh, fuck, that is a law. I forgot. In Kansas, it is illegal to catch bullfrogs in a tomato patch. I mean,
okay,
maybe
I like it.
I think I always like those type of laws just because there's, you know, I mean, I'm all about kids like exploring, you know, fishing, you know, maybe taking out binoculars and spying on some hawks and bats in the night or whatever. But like catching wild animals, I don't know. Like I have this weird story of guilt as a child because a friend of mine caught a frog. And I remember one day we were playing with it. Actually, there were two. and one of the frogs, like, we couldn't find, and we were running around to try to find it, and the one was in the bucket, and I accidentally stepped on it, and it was the worst feeling ever because I was like, fuck. You know, like I stepped on it bad, and like I looked down and I'm like, that thing is dead.
Well, that's the thing, man. Like that frog was gonna cure cancer someday too, man. You took that away from us. No. That's the thing with frogs. Frogs, like every little kid, every boy, it's like the fucking, it's like in the 50s, it's like snails, tails, and puppy dog. Like boys pick up fucking frogs and squeeze them. And it doesn't take much for their little guts to come like out, and that's why they're like fucking fascinating. It's like every boy has if you've caught a wild animal and fucked with it, it was a frog. And that's totally okay. Like if you caught a fucking pig and you started squeezing that until its guts came out, then you're a fucking psychopath. Like that's not okay.
Totally.
But frogs, they don't like squirm or show any pain or anything. They're just like, well, I guess my guts are coming up out of my mouth now. That's weird. That's never happened. But hey, good, nice to meet you, mister. They're
for sure.
Yeah. So you don't have to feel too bad about that one, man. Like it's every boy has experimented like just grabbing a frog and like squeezing it a little bit.
Yeah. Well,
some boys squeeze too hard. That's how you figure out what your own strength is.
Or you put your Reebok pump right on top of it and it ribbits its fucking insides out.
At least he died with his boots on, man, and doing what he loved. Fucking ribbiting in a bucket.
Poor frog. Anyways, in Kentucky, every citizen is required to take a shower once a year.
I feel like that's the one that the new right wing has like gotten rid of. Like, can't fucking tell me what to do, government. I ain't showered in 5 years. Come soak me up, Uncle Sam. I dare you.
Yeah, I can't imagine Kentucky inmates have much better things to do than shower. But if there's somebody holding out who's like, I ain't going in there. I done did it in February. It's August. It is illegal in Kentucky to marry the same man more than 3 times.
What? That one was for Wilma.
Yeah. I can't imagine ever marrying the same person twice. I feel like if they're the wrong fit, it's time to move on.
Yeah. Unless one exception, if they fell overboard on a cruise and you thought they were dead and you got their death certificate and everything, so they're just declared dead, but they washed up on shore like 6 years later, and they're like, oh, I guess they're not dead anymore, but you already like got fucking divorced, then you would have to remarry that same person.
Totally.
Yeah, to be, square in the eyes of the law, technically you would have to remarry them because they've been declared dead, you've been divorced, you've moved on.
True.
You're only paying taxes for one person that year. So that should be a loophole. I should be a lawyer. I totally should. This shit makes me, I want to be a lawyer. I just want to go in and be, Your Honor, my client should be able to fucking walk his alligator on a Thursday or whatever. Like, I feel like I'd be good at it.
I think you would. In Missouri.
I'd do that too.
Get this. In Missouri, it is not illegal to speed. So if you're listening and you're in Missouri,
but
it's true. It says it is not illegal to speed in Missouri.
For legal purposes, I'm not believing that and agreeing with what you just said, but okay. I will say that's fascinating. And
I read it on the internet.
Require more research.
In Missouri, 4 women may not rent an apartment together.
That's bullshit.
That's baloney. You better speed out of there, girls. In Montana, it is a felony for a wife to open her husband's mail. You just imagine Wilford Brimley in Montana being like,
yeah,
Geraldine, you open my mail. You know,
God damn it! I'm gonna have to call the sheriff again.
Did you take my alligator for a walk again? In New Hampshire, if a person is caught raking the beaches, picking up litter, hauling away trash, building a bench for the park, or many other kind things without a permit, he or she may be fined $150 for maintaining the national forest without a permit.
What the fuck?
We
What
don't
the
make
fuck?
things better. I don't know.
I want to know the story behind that, man. That's some crazy shit.
That's for a future episode, not tonight.
I bet you
Ryan,
some company probably had like a contract to pick up trash, and they got paid like per piece of trash. And all the fucking public people were like picking up trash when they went. And so somebody lobbied somebody to be like, no, man, make it illegal for them to like fucking clean up the beach. I don't like that shit. Taking money out of my pocket.
That's why you're right. I think you would be a good lawyer because you're sussing this out in your brain. Because the ones that make me laugh the hardest are the ones I'm like, that was either in like 1870 when they first started making laws.
Yeah.
Or it's crunch time and they have to hit a quota on laws or whatever, and somebody filled out the paperwork incorrectly. This is fascinating. In New York, who shout out to Adam, who's been a co-host on this show. Love you, buddy. In New York, you get a fine of $25 for flirting.
I'll pay it. I don't fucking care.
I don't care. Look at
Baby,
that.
for you, I'll pay the fine. That's like the best pickup line in the world.
Exactly. A license must be purchased before hanging clothes on a clothesline in New York.
Okay, that one makes sense. If you ever see like those old like fucking like Once Upon a Time in America and those like movies in New York like back in the 1800s through like the 30s, and you just see clotheslines everywhere. So yeah, that could be I get that one. Like that one makes sense to me.
Totally. Donkeys are not allowed to sleep in bathtubs in Brooklyn. What the fuck? Get your donkey out of
That makes less sense to me. He wasn't in the bathtub. He was on the toilet.
Just a donkey spraying shit all over your toilet.
I swear to God, I saw that donkey in the bathtub. He was not on the toilet.
He was using a loofah. I seen it.
He has why has he got a shower cap on if he was just taking a shit?
Oh. In Staten Island, you may only water your lawn if the hose is held in your hand. Interesting.
Okay.
Slippers are not to be worn after 10 p.m. Interesting.
Oh, fuck that. What the hell?
That's like one of those laws. Like I feel like I remember hearing at some point oral sex was banned in like the 50s or something like that. And I was like, fuck that law. And like slippers, I mean, what kind of like, I don't know, evangelical type bullshit is that? Oh, mother's got her slippers on.
I want to see a sketch of like a SWAT team like gearing up and they're like all prepping and like getting ready and like going over the fucking plan. And it ends with them like busting into a fucking apartment and fucking murdering a man for wearing slippers after 10 p.m.
He's got his Tasmanian
and they're all like
devil
fucking
loafers
high-fiving each other after blowing his fucking brains out. It's like, yeah, good job. We got him. We got that fucker.
That exercise paid off, didn't it? Shutting down these Looney Tune slipper wearers. In North Carolina, elephants may not be used to plow cotton fields.
That's probably a good call.
I mean, elephants are, I feel like, a pretty intelligent creature, but for fields,
some asshole probably ordered like 40 fucking elephants from like Africa in 1870, and people got into it, and they were like, "What do you like they found out like fucking RM Archibald was gonna fucking use elephants to plow the field instead of people, and they were like, you can't do that. We're gonna make a law against that. That's unfair to the elephants.
Fucking Archibald is at it again. I know that I know they unsuccessfully during the Civil War tried to use camels. Like there was a period there where somebody shipped a bunch of camels over, and that was a terrible thing because Wild West era, kind of Civil War era, they used to break horses in, and camels can be pretty intense when you try to break them in. They're like, "Fuck this!"
I bet. Yeah.
Also in North Carolina, in Asheville, North Carolina, it is illegal to sneeze on city streets. That feels like
I've been to Asheville. I don't think I've sneezed there, so I wasn't able to test that one out, but it's pretty laid back there. I can't imagine that one's fucking
yeah,
enforced very much.
Oh, I see it now. Ohio. According to Ohio law, it's against the law to kill a housefly within 160 feet of a church without a license.
Wow. Man, people are really good at overthinking shit. That's the only explanation for that one.
So what happens if a housefly lands on the church window? Does the preacher have a license
You
to
don't
kill it?
touch it, dude. No, you don't touch that thing. That is God's creation, and if you don't have a license, you are not prepared to deal with God's creation.
I see. Thou art liveth in sin if thou squishest thy housefly. At McDonald's in Marion, you cannot eat a donut and walk backwards on a city street.
Those are the ones that I read as a kid. Just be like, could you even imagine?
I always walk backwards when I'm eating my crullers. In Ohio, you may not run out of gas, which is
that's weird. Have they updated that to cover like your electric car if it runs out of batteries?
I don't know, but I guess that would be a loophole. And if it's illegal to run out of gas, what do you do if you do run out of gas? You just become a convict, so you run off into the woods?
You spend the weekend in jail, man.
We told you.
Mm-hmm.
You should have stopped at the Shell station. In Oregon, dishes must drip dry.
Okay.
Hey, man. Those Pacific Northwesterners. Have you been out to Oregon at all?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like
Portland and Astoria.
Okay, right on. I know I'm pretty sure John, who's been on the show, lives near Portland. In Oregon, ministers are forbidden from eating garlic or onions before delivering a sermon.
Holy shit, another racist one. Like, I got a way to get that Polish priest out of here.
I feel bad for these Polish priests. I feel bad for the Polish people. They don't come up as much as you would think in as far as in history when I do like research on stuff, but this definitely shows it's the way people think, especially in the past or when they
it's just the way that I think, dude. Like it was my stupid joke. And I was just trying to use the least offensive thing I could find.
Oh, yeah. In Pennsylvania, all fire hydrants must be checked. Oh my God. All fire hydrants must be checked 1 hour before all fires. That doesn't even make sense.
That doesn't make
So
sense.
you have to.
I'd say that one requires more research too.
I'd say Pennsylvania. What are you doing? In Morrisville, this is nearby one of my buddies in the Navy, retired now. It is required that a woman have a permit to wear cosmetics. That seems like maybe. I know, especially in Pennsylvania and that certain area, there's a very, very large quantity of, say, Amish folk. And my guess is it has something to do with them trying to be like, oh, Gertrude, where did you get that shade on your cheeks? Are you going into the city and getting makeups? You better have a permit.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, we'll do a couple more. In Wisconsin, at one time, margarine was illegal.
Oh, that makes total sense. The dairy capital of the world, man. They didn't want that fake shit in there.
They're like, wait a minute. Is that an I can't believe it's not butter container in the back of your fridge? You've been crossing state lines again. In St. Croix, women are not allowed to wear anything red in public.
Okay.
I guess
there's a lot of you never see any laws that are like men are not allowed to roll their sleeves up on a Thursday. It's all like it's definitely all limiting to one specific gender, it seems like.
Yeah, it's like you better not be eating onions and you better not have a vagina. And last and certainly not least, in Wisconsin, you are not allowed to marry your house.
Well, that's why I live in Michigan, sir.
Indeed. And you've been happily married to your home for the past year. Anyways, dude, thanks for coming on, man.
Thanks for having.
We fucking churned and burned this baby. But
yes, we definitely created quality content. Happy to do so with you.
Hey, I just figure it's a part one of any time we need to do extra episodes on some interesting. I mean, the other option, and this is a future episode, is there's an incredible list I found online of the most insane. Do you remember when they had, it was like I won't say booby prize, but they had like the Darwin Awards for like the most insane deaths.
Yeah.
Those have a little bit more.
Nice.
There's a huge list of it online, and there's interesting little factoids behind it. But it was fun to discuss this stuff with you. Do you have anything I don't know you'd like to recommend to the folks in July of 2023 who maybe need recommendations on things from a board game guy like yourself?
I'm trying to think if there's anything. Oh yeah, I'll recommend something in that case. Oink Games has a thing out for the Switch. I think I told you about that, and it's fun. They're a little Japanese company that makes tiny little card games. They're like pretty fun, decent games, but they like fit in your back pocket. And the one on the Switch comes with like 6 games or something, and you can get more. So it's fun. Check it out if you like that sort of thing.
Sweet. Yeah, we're gonna do that and some more Diablo in before we do our Diablo episode.
Yes,
also,
sir.
I wanted to say this. We have stickers now, folks. You can see it right now on the YouTube, and we have shirts. If you're local Michigan or say Midwest area and the shipping isn't going to be insane, I'd be happy to set up and sell you a shirt or stickers.
I would have worn mine if you would have fucking told me you were doing this. Next time I'll wear it.
Hey, man. Next time. All right. We love you guys. Rate and review. You get a shout out. Those are coming soon. We'll see you soon. Have a great one. Let me see if I can. No, I don't want to do that. I want to hit.